To my left, we have Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. Jim, is it safe to say that we might never be able to see another 300-game winner?
Probably, yeah, yeah. You know, they don't. Yeah, there's no reason to do it, and it's if you're not going to be pitching complete games and winning and losing games in the late innings, it's going to be very hard to do that. It doesn't mean you're not going to see a lot of good pitchers. They're just not going to see them win 300 games.
You know, how much do you think that throwing 4 or 5 innings has helped the pitchers
Longevity?
Longevity.
Well, it's certainly not helping the bullpen longevity when they have to pitch almost. Some teams. Kurt Schilling used to always say it. Whatever team has their starters go the farthest are going to be the team that usually wins in the postseason because the bullpen guys will be more rested. So, ideally, they talk. They talk now. Okay, can you get 15 outs? That's 5 innings. 16, 18 outs is 6 innings. 21 outs, and they go to spring training and said, let's try to get closer to 21 outs a game for our starting pitchers. Not many guys can do that.
Do you think that baseball has lost something as a pitcher that took pride going every 3 or 4 days into the mound, not being able to start something and finish it? Do you think that there's something missing with that?
Well, we're talking on the bus coming out today, and Vida Blue passed away, a short time ago. But I remember pitching against him his first year, which was 1971, when he was not only the Cy Young Award winner but also the MVP. I think he won 24 games. Started the All-Star game. I was warming up when Reggie hit the transformer, in Tiger Stadium up on the roof. But I pitched against Vida, and I had a 1-0 lead going to the 8th inning. Runners at first and second. High fastball up and into Mike Epstein, went to the backstop. The runner at third scored, and Brooks Robinson and Mark Belanger, that's about 24 Gold Gloves, collided.
That's right.
And I lost 2-1. Now, the next time Vida and I were going to pitch against each other, we had, I think, 17,000 people walk up, non-season ticket holders, because they wanted to see a pitching duel.
That's right.
I just happened to be it, and Vida, of course, was one of the great pitchers. I think you kind of miss that, but you get it in the postseason, and I think at the end of the day, if the Orioles are trying to aspire to be as good as the Yankees, we have our starters I think are 2-16 against the 2-16 lifetime against the Yankees. Those numbers are going to have to get better. The team's playing better, so maybe they'll do that. But big question when you come to New York or the Yankees come: can you beat Garrett Cole? Can you beat Severino? It looks like he's going to be back. Rodon, they gave him the big contract because they think he's going to be a dominated pitcher, and we'll kind of see. But when I grew up, I came here when I was 9 years old, and I saw Allie Reynolds for the Yankees pitch against Mike Garcia of the Indians.
I wasn't even around at that.
I know that. Well, I was, and and then 10 years later, I came in and struck out Mantle Maris and Elston Howard.
That's got to be something.
Yeah, with the bases loaded. So, pitching duels, pitching matchups. You still get them, mate, but you just don't expect pitchers to pitch as long.
Now, you people are talking about the pitching matchups and battles, but you also had managers battles between Earl Weaver and Billy Martin. How was that?
Well, wanted to see who could kick more dirt on the umpire. Or, when we were right here in Yankee Stadium, and every time Lou Piniella, who actually played for Earl, coming through the minors, would go up, Earl would go, Lou. So Billy said the next time he does that, talking about Weaver yelling at Piniella, he said, walk over there and I'll come out and then I'll beat him up. I'll beat him up. So Lou actually, right down here, with the old stadium, he threw a bat at him and it slid across the warning track and hit the top of the dugout. And then Billy came running out. There was no fight or anything like that. But, that was the kind, Billy, I was 16 years old pitching in Scottsdale, Arizona in high school, and I looked over on a Saturday morning and I said, that's Billy Martin. Because I grew up in New York. I remember how good a player he was in the World Series in the postseason. So I was always a big fan of Billy. And I actually got to broadcast him with Al Michaels and Billy. We did the 80 playoffs, American League playoffs.
Right.
So, when he was kind of in and out of management. Yeah, exactly.
Coming into New York, I'm sure that it must have said, man, we got to beat these teams because it just comes the adrenaline coming into New York. It makes it that much important beating the Yankees.
Well, they are the Yankees, They do have, 28 World Series?
Yeah.
So, back, I mean, it's funny. I did a card show in Pittsburgh the other day, and Goose Gossage was there, and we used to play the Yankees, and we would say we have to have the lead by the 7th because Goose will pitch
Yeah,
the 7th,
exactly.
8th,
It's
and
lights
9th,
out.
and it's all over.
I remember Ron
yeah.
Davis and Gossage.
But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with trying to aspire to, be as good as the Yankees because they, year in and year out. I mean, last year, they struggled the second half. They still won 99 games.
Now, today's game, are you in favor of that pitch count? I say that it's hurt. All the rules that they've implemented have hurt the pitches. It hasn't benefited. If they're going to put the bases bigger, how come they don't put home plate a little bigger? You know what I mean?
Wow.
What your thoughts on
I'm
that?
all for a bigger home plate. But no, listen, I like the rules. We pitch quickly because, you want your guys to be on their toes. I mean, I'm reading the stuff now that, guys are, they can't recover fast enough and all that. That's a bunch of garbage. Get your rear end in shape and you'll be able to do it. But it's a different game. There's a lot of max effort pitchers now that, maybe don't pitch, they throw. So maybe that does affect them, but we'll see.
Two things. Listen, how was Rick Dempsey for you? What Rick Dempsey meant for you? I think he's really underrated as a catcher.
Well, Demper, I used to always tell him, I said, listen, just do the things you can do. He threw great. He blocked the plate great. He, prepared the game. I said, just sit on the outside corner, and I'll let you know where you want to move the glove. But, he caught a lot of great pitchers. And, even when he left the Orioles, he went over to the Dodgers. He was part of that scoreless streak for Hershiser, in, 88. So, I don't know, he probably caught 5 or 6 Cy Young Award winners. And, when you win a Cy Young, you don't do it by yourself.
That's right. Now, your thoughts on Thurman Munson. Is he a Hall of Famer in your book?
I'd have to go look at the numbers. But I know, as far as I'm concerned, he was a Hall of Fame type of guy. I used to play in the American Airline tournament, so I'd always end up playing, quick 18 holes with him in the morning, some practice rounds. But when I hurt my shoulder, I was in 1968, I was in pitching for Elmira, and Thurman was playing for Binghamton. And Steve Klein, who actually had some good years, he was pitching, and I lost 1-0. Thurman hit a double down the right field line on the chalk and scored the only run. And then we had a guy that we had gotten from the Yankees, Chet Trail, and he tried to steal second base, and I'm not exaggerating. He was closer to first than to second when Thurman threw him out. So, Thurman, he would wink at me, and then we'd go to war, beat me 2-0 in Shea Stadium when they were renovating Yankee Stadium. He was a great player and a terrific guy. And, I still remember Monday when he, died in the plane crash. I was coming out of we were off that day, and, tragic because, not only a great player, but
and you also played him on that day.
Yeah.
Which is classic.
Yeah.
I remember with Tippy Martinez.
Yeah. No, Thurman was the best. So, Hall of Fame, I don't know, close to it.
He should be there.
Okay.
He should be there.
Whatever you say.
Listen, Jim, listen.